the starving Mashemeji Derby fixture, which again could not be played at the weekend because of lack of a venue. Shtera, I want you to chime in on that.
Again, the problems that we've been discussing in the first story, athletics, it has carried on into football. It all boils down to preparedness. We all know that we are having matches that are of high voltage, that truly, if we try and mess with such games, we can be staring at a CAF or FIFA ban. We don't have a facility to host this magnitude of competition or a match. So in my view, I think the decision is right. It's welcome. That we'd rather postpone and have it better. Remember, the first leg was postponed, I think, 3 times.
And actually, this is also the 3rd time we are postponing this fixture.
4th time, yeah. And I think we had it, and we had a perfect derby, I think, we have ever experienced for like 4 years. And the discipline displayed by FC Leopards and Gor Mahia fans was of very high standards in that game at Nyayo National Stadium. So in my view, there is nothing lost. Let us postpone it. We have Kasarani ready or Nyayo ready. Let's have a proper derby and then enjoy football. Let's not have it in closed doors. I saw you asking the question. Let me be the first one to answer. Let us not have that game behind a closed door. Let's have a derby. Remember the money that FC Leopards collected, over 9 million shillings. So we talk of revenue. When you talk of closed door, you lose revenue.
We're on a game watch. Actually, the season should end very soon, if I'm not wrong.
31st of May.
31st of May.
But let's hold on to this derby so that we can have a big season ender.
I think the earliest we can have this derby can be maybe June 1st, considering that...
June 1st, by that time, the inning should be over, the season should be over.
But it can be pushed.
Anyway, you can make your insight,
it can be pushed because you look at the construction still going on at
Kasarani
and Nyayo Stadium. Currently, they are laying the artificial
for the Cape Classic,
the track. Track for the Cape Keynote that is going to happen on 30th. Then, after that, probably the stadium will be ready to host this. But to my own view, that much, considering the turnout on the last Mashemeji Derby, should be done at Kasarani. Kasarani has a bigger space, and it's easier to control the crowd in terms of security arrangements.
Probably, Wakili, we have that letter by FKF explaining as to why. We are going to have it on screen shortly. But basically, they're explaining why this derby could not proceed. And the debate or the sticky issue has been here. FKF is attributing the failure to use Kasarani to CAF directive. That, ladies, wait, we can't use that venue. It's still under construction, and we need to reserve it.
Site,
we need to reserve it for Chan or whatever. But the question is, all factors left constant. Is it Chan's call to decide where to host
CAF?
A league?
I don't think so. At the moment, yes, because when we were given the rights to host Chan and CAF took over.
There we have the letter.
CAF took over the supervisory roles. They superintend the design and the design and structure of the repairs or even the construction. It is not our architects constructing some markets. They are in Mumias, from where I come from, who are overlooking, who are watching and supervising the construction. It is CAF which took over. So everything has to be done, even the quality of grass. It is as per the recommendation of CAF officers. So it's totally in order for them to bow to the calls and the pressures of CAF. Be that as it may, there's always been a joke between the Gor Mahia and Ulinzi KDF, who is the real Serikal. But in the events, in the events preceding the postponement, I came to agree that indeed it is Gor Mahia which is Serikal.
Which is
because Gor Mahia, they are the ones who actually postponed the fixture before even FKF issued the letter. However, just give me a minute. The league, all the leagues in Kenya, are run under FKF statutes and the FKF constitution. So that the current league is run under the FKF rules and regulations 2019. My reading of rule 341, 351, and 961. One of the cardinal roles of hosting or a home team is to find a match venue. That is rule 341. And also to guarantee and provide security, it is also the role of the home team. Sometimes when there will be issues, then the security lapses can be attributed to the home team. So Gor Mahia were right to postpone the fixture, given that they're out of probably their own intelligence and the volatility of the fixture, they expected probably there will been a security lapse. So it was proper. Englishmen say discretion is the better part of valor. You avoid some risks.
Absolutely. And that discussion forms our question of the day. Shitera has already answered, but today we are asking you, the viewer, should the Mashemeji Derby be played behind closed doors? We want to hear what your take rather on that question. You can SMS 22422, hashtag Sporty Monday. We are also on X. You can X me at Isaac Swila, at Citizen TV, and of course we are going to sample some of them. You see, before we close this topic, I think this is emerging because the leadership of Kogalo, the leadership of Shitera's Ingwe have been mediocre over the 60 years. Had they probably done a better job, we won't be discussing this as now. Gor do not have a stadium of their own. Leopards, not even a stadium, even a training ground. Now, in functional jurisdictions, and you know what happens, even Arab North where Lukman is, there won't be a debate of this nature because a host club has a facility of their own that meets all the benchmarks. They're able to organize proper security. The match would go on. I think 3 or so weeks ago, we saw Gor's deputy patron at a site visit with Kogalo leadership. They told us,
48 acres.
Yeah, we're going to build a 60,000-seater stadium for Kogalo. Really, is that logical? Because look at how much building Talanta facilities costing us billions of the taxpayers' money. Do Kogalo have the metal even to have such a dream?
Number one, let me just say something that Wakili Munyendo said, and I'm going to be talking, by the way, credit to him because I have always consulted him in matters sport law for a long time, but I would want to hear much from him about CAF decision on a domestic match. I would want to hear much more about that because the CHAN and the league are two different things here, and I wonder, for example, why CAF will not speak about other matches and venues like what would happen about Shabana. And go in the other venue in Gusii. But there's the question you raise, Swila. You see, it's only that people have been late for so many years. If development was constant in these clubs, it would not be a surprise for us to imagine a club constructing such a stadium that you're talking about. And I still believe it is possible to start from somewhere. Nonetheless, I don't want to kill the ambition of the good deputy patron, Ebwana Owalo, because you need to dream big. But what I would want to hear first is, you know, realistic steps, step by step. For example, most of the revenues used by clubs when it comes to stadiums, when you don't have a stadium, is hiring training grounds. You see, people focus on the match day, which is actually maybe once in a week, but maybe training 4 times a week, and you are paying money for that.
And they pay per hour, actually. So
the question would be, why don't we hear a partnership, for example, between Gor Mahia or maybe between AFC and a certain facility owner, and we have that you guys are going to train here for 1 year for free, whatever partnership it is. You start from there, you save that money. Then when it comes to a stadium like that is it Machakos, County? We hear discussion about, first of all, doing a training facility. You know, you grow from that training facility, then you come to a small stadium before you grow to that 60,000 capacity seater. So it is a dream that is possible. What makes Kenyans to be doubtful is the fact that it has taken so many years to do it, and then somebody wants to achieve it once.
Of course, we're not able to do a 5,000 seater or 15,000, but we are talking of 60,000.
Nonetheless, I want to also look at it from the other side of it. It is very important that finally the Gor Mahia family has said, we have been told about a piece of land in Kasarani for many years, and nobody is able to understand why that piece of land has never been availed. You know, we don't have a title deed. So saying that ikija siku moja ni sawa sawa. Like now that we don't have it, let's try to find our own solution.
Yes.
I think is an amazing step.
I loved the step by Owalo, just a second, but Kogala adherents like Master here.
No, let me put,
what they have told us. Let me make my point. But it's not what these have told us, Munyendo, is that the Kogalo spirit cannot be taken to Machakos. It has to be domiciled. You can't just take it.
Where do you want to take them?
But let me put it clear. The team I support, since I was a kid, since I was 10, 12 to 14, 16, is Madara United.
Madara United.
Yes.
But people where you come from saying
yes,
that's
because
our
of my surname,
yes.
Because of my surname, they'll definitely.
Let me tell you what Suila is not telling you.
Yes.
Is that there was Darren Carr,
yes.
The former coach. He was taken somewhere. In Homa Bay. In Homa Bay. And there were photos for some rituals, and there were some funny photos we saw tracing some roots of Kogalo. And there are people who feel, but you see, Kogalo has been a Nairobi team for the longest. So if you were to trace that idea of the roots, then that stadium would be somewhere in Homa Bay.
In Homa Bay. Yes. 1 minute before you take the break, okay?
Quickly to respond to him.
Yeah.
Now, it is well documented. Firstly, Gor Mahia is a member of Football Kenya Federation. Football Kenya Federation is affiliated to CAF, CECAFA, and FIFA. Before Gor Mahia came into existence, CAF was already existing. And the CAF has the records of the past conduct and the results of the fans of these two teams. Again, the record will bear me right that sometimes the fans have been overly happy to the extent that they have hugged each other in a manner that is not so friendly. Sometimes they've had friendly fires. So that when you are preparing for such a high-octane match, you do not allow them to go and participate in a structure or in a facility that you are preparing for a major event. Whenever there are events, CHAN or FIFA or CAF events that are going to be played in particular places, when the bid is awarded, it's automatically the CAF or FIFA takes over supervision or construction of some of these facilities. By the way, you remember for a long time we have had bans, temporary bans, or now being not accredited. It's for the reason that it has been being supervised by CAF, CAF stadium fellas. They have been saying, no, this match is not suitable to play and host some CAF accredited matches. You remember the Gor Mahia match against, was it Zamalek or Al Ahly? And the Kenya Police, which preceded the Gor Mahia match, there was a push and pull before we were allowed to host that match. So yes, CAF has a say in allowing such fixtures.
In fact, it's like when the police take over a crime scene, it's
long not.
Yeah, it's as equal as that, because Kasarani and Nyayo have been earmarked for AFCON 2027.
And CHAN.
It's a CAF tournament. Yes. So they have to ensure that that facility really reaches the standards that CAF has prescribed. So trying to mess up what is already going on, it will deter the timelines, then the preparation. And by the way, in my view, I think they're just,
It is important to mention this. A training ground like the Kenya Police Circle, which is earmarked, it's going to be a training ground for the teams.
Yes.
Kenya Police are not even allowed to use it.
They're not trained.
Right? And we are told
even Orleans is not using.
There's a possibility that after CHAN, they may not use it until after AFCON 2027.
Yes.
Serious stuff.
That's the insights of Wakili Japheth Munyendo, Steve Shitera, Jacob Isia, and Dennis Okay. Of course, the show, more to come after the break. That's the second hour. But before we do that, today we are asking you, based on that discussion, should the Mashemeji Derby be played behind closed doors? We want to hear your thoughts, and of course, we'll be sampling some of them when we return. For now, Sporty Monday takes a brief commercial break, but stay with us.